Penguin Random House Audio presents The Saskiad by Brian Hall. Read for you by Saskia Maarleveld. Part 1. Jane. When you start on your journey to Ithaca, then pray that the road is long, full of adventure, full of knowledge. Do not fear the Lestrygonians and the Cyclopes and the angry Poseidon. You will never meet such as these on your path if your thoughts remain lofty, if a fine emotion touches your body and your spirit. You will never meet the Lestrygonians, the Cyclopes, and the fierce Poseidon if you do not carry them within your soul, if your soul does not raise them up before you. Cavafy, Ithaca. 1. This is where she is now, a Greek island, low and away, last of all on the water toward the dark. Ithaca lies between two ridges at the head of a long, crooked bay. No automobiles desecrate the silent streets. The modern world has been rubbed out like a mistake. The great stone clock tower on the eastern slope chimes the hour, its triad of gongs shimmering in the gelatinous air. The sun is motionless, huge. How deliciously she can feel the heat on her arms. She peels off her clothes, and her skin is golden like the sun. Her arms and legs glide, buttery at the joints. She can feel quite distinctly the dirt under her bare feet. She glides between the clapboard houses with their wraparound porches, their nested gables and towers. Beautiful homes like carved chests containing fine things. All the people she does not know. But here is an incongruity amid classical Ithacan order and repose. Her own house, the sway-backed porch, the 3 floors of mismatched windows, the white paint so indecently peeled that only splotches remain like lichen on the rotting shingles. Rising from the shallow roof is a belvedere, a small room with windows all around. A captain's room. There is nothing she wants so much as to get up into that room. She would be able to judge the weather up there. She would pace undisturbed, lost in thought, unaware how much her men admired and loved her. She bounds onto the porch and tries the door. Locked. She grips the knob and pulls, confident of the swelling strength in her hands. But the door holds firm, indifferent to it. 2. As always, she wakes early, thinking. The new girl will be in school today. She saw her sitting in the vice principal's office. The new girl. She listens. Quiet. The sky is empty of stars. She turns on the light by her bed. Blind blackness presses against her window. How frightening. But when she turns out the light, her faithful stars have come out to cheer her. Orion in the northwest, and directly overhead the Big Dipper, which travelers call the wagon because its wheels, never stopping, never sinking into the wash of the ocean. A supernova blazes in late-setting Boötes, the herdsman who herded Odysseus home. And the moon, her planet, is a wind-filled sail racing along the elliptic, waxing, always waxing, towards some fullness, some completion she can hardly wait for, but cannot foresee. Could it have something to do with the new girl? She is so beautiful. The stars are fading. She is the only one to keep a safe eye on the cunning dark, to help bleed this blind black to gray. No one else thinks of these things. Perhaps the new girl will. The beautiful new girl. 3. When she catches the first glimmer of the lake, she slips quietly down and pulls on rubber boots in the back hall. Outside is the sodden snow of a Tylerian January. In the barn, Marilyn lumbers, steaming to her feet, the back up first on splayed legs, the udder swaying hugely. Saskia dumps a scoop of pellets in the trough and shovels muck into the bin, then squats to rub the furry udder, coaxing the into letting down. Marilyn never lies in her own muck. She is a good with a clean udder, a pleasure to rub. Saskia works white ointment into the rear teats, and the udder veins bulge, the teats swell. She fires into the bucket a long sequence of pump-action double-barreled blasting. She has the strongest hands of anyone in her grade. At the Ithacan Carnival last summer, she pushed the dial on the grip machine up to bone crusher. Afterward, Marilyn is rewarded with a pile of hay and a hug as wide as 2 arms can reach. Saskia delights in the hot bristle against her cheek. When Saskia was little, an earlier pushed her against the wall, making her cry. Thomas ran to rescue her, his brown robe flapping. He lifted her a mile high and kissed her. In the coop, the chickens mince around her feet like bathers crossing hot sand. She leaves 3 eggs on the sideboard in the kitchen and pours a saucer of milk for Gorgon, who sidles her fat black body up to the dish with a grunt-like purr. It is a discipline to love Gorgon, who bites and claws and squats furtively in corners to do her business along the baseboards. Saskia once wrote and illustrated a reader for the crew that started, "Fat cat, black cat. What cat? That cat." Pirates threatened, but Gorgon eventually saved the day. A rather pathetic fallacy. Back upstairs, Saskia picks a skirt and shawl for school. No need for a shower. The caramel smell of Marilyn in her hair is better than any soap. There's a flush of aqua along the eastern ridge. Time to raise the crew. Barring a rescue by the new girl, swinging down on a rope with a Tarzan yell, the best part of her day is over. 4. Across the hall, her bosun is still asleep, damn her eyes. "Get up, you scoundrel! The wind freshening in a falling glass. No telling what the day will bring." A lazy dog, yes, but she's damn comely. A hoogly thing. "Come on, Mim, it's almost 7. Saskia rummages through the pile of stuffed animals. "I'm up." Mim bubbles up, animals tumbling. "Where's Horsey?" Saskia picks it off the floor. Good God, what the Admiralty sends her. On the lower deck, she rouses the rest of the crew. Austin, Shannon, Quinny, to the usual accompaniment of grumbling. Poor devils, it must be hell to be pressed into this service. Weevely food, never enough sleep. And where does it end? Beheaded by a cannonball or sent shrieking under the surgeon's knife? "Don't blame me," she always tells them when they cry. "Blame Boney." They straggle off to the latrine. Or is that the loo? Perhaps the ship has no such thing, simply off the side. Not on this ship. Quinny takes his sheet with him. "Your hygiene," she bellows after them. "I'll be checking." Tall, capable Lauren is in the kitchen brewing coffee, which, like the captain, she thinks of as soon as her eyes open. She is monumental in her nightgown, her ton of hair unbound. Saskia reports to her back. "Quinny wet his bed again." Lauren's shoulders sigh. "You stripped it?" "He does it himself now." "Well, at least he's doing something." She turns to face Saskia, her eyes still cushioned with sleep. "How old is he anyway?" 7. "Ridiculous." She bangs closed the freezer door on her fancy Ithacan coffee. "Get him to make the bed up himself, too, if he's going to do that like a baby." "I'm working on that." "How did he get to be 7 years old?" Saskia assumes that's a rhetorical question. "It's not a big deal." "Teach him to do the laundry. Then he can wet his bed all he wants." "It's no big deal." You really shouldn't bother Lauren before she has had her coffee. "Don't be a martyr, Saskia. Nobody likes a martyr." The coffee machine lets out a Bronx cheer. Lauren fills a mug. "Hurry up and drink it, you crabby old thing." She sips, smacking at the heat. "If you want to be Quinny's servant, go right ahead. I'm getting dressed." As if getting dressed is the way not to be Quinny's servant. Lauren sips again and closes her eyes appreciatively. What is it about coffee? The captain fights a battle in a gale off a lee shore and never changes expression. But give him a cup of the real thing after a month of burnt bread swill at sea, and the sparkle in his eyes is a lovely sight. "You're a good girl, Saskia," Lauren says, seeming to reconsider. "Woof," she says testily. Lauren shrugs. "All right, you're not a good girl." She goes up to dress. Saskia scrambles eggs for the crew and sets out Marilyn's milk along with tots of fresh-squeezed rum. Shannon and Austin are sent back to wash their hands. Austin bops Quinny, and
Sample complete. Ready to continue?